Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of 10 Chat Shenanigans. Today, it's another Will It Run? Let's just get right into it. There's not a whole lot to know. This is a Troy bilt Bronco. That's all I know about it. It's not true. I know it spins over. I put a jump box on it and hit the key and it spun over. That's it. That's all I know. Got it off Marketplace, paid about 150 bucks for it. Tires off the bead there. They're flat in the rear. One on the other side is holding air. But I have an extra tire laying around, so I'm going to throw it on there. And then what we're going to try to do is get this thing pushed into the shop so we're not working on it out inside in the weather, because it's supposed to rain for the next couple days. So let's get the tiller out that I pushed in there last night because I got it to kind of idle and run. We'll put it under the lean-to that I still need to clean out. And then we'll push the lawnmower up in there. So let's do that. Oh, another fun part. Come on, you're straight. Down there. Okay. Now we've got to pull it in. Where's a good place to grab? Right there. Luckily, it's just a little 42-inch deck, so it will actually fit in the shop if I can get this thing folded up. Yeah. This deck is in horrible shape. There we go. Now she's in the shop and out of my yard. And I can weed eat where it was. But there she is. So let me get that weed eated and then we'll dive into it. Alright guys, well, she now has 4 tires that all hold air. The 3 that were already on it that were still good actually took air really well. This one I had to swap from something else and swap it onto a new rim because the rims were different and everything like that. So I'm gonna get y'all set up and we're gonna dive right into this thing. All right, we got our hood open. We don't have a whole lot of room in the shed with a mower in here, but it's okay. You know, we make do with what we got for right now. Later on, the future plan is to actually build a shop. So, you know, I would like to build, you know, a nice size shop. You know, it doesn't need to be like huge professional grade, but a nice 2 or 3 bay roll-up door shop would be nice. Yeah. So there's no fuel in the tank, which is a plus. Like it is. There's a leak right over the fill, so I'm gonna get a air blower and blow that out. But there's no fuel in the tank, which is a good thing. There's a shutoff valve. So what we're gonna do is put a new fuel filter on it, and then put some gas in it. I don't have a battery yet. I'll go tomorrow because Walmart will definitely be open. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's 4th of July, so happy 4th of July to everyone watching this. Gonna get a new fuel filter and a little air blower. That's a small fuel filter. I don't need that one. There we go, full size. Had to go to my parts catalog over here and find one. Fuel filter. A little clear one. Just, you know, something. That took care of that leaf being in the way of the fill hole. So now, gonna get our new fuel filter. I know y'all can't see anything over here, but there is a fuel disconnect with an inline filter. And pretty much the goal for this, where'd I put my pliers? The goal for this mower is get it running and let whoever purchases it do whatever they want with it, because the deck's not in fantastic shape. I think the no, never mind, nothing's froze up on it. So let's put a little bit of gas in it and then put the jump box on it and see if she fires off. Alright, we have about a gallon of gas in that thing. And I'm going to hook up my jump box to the cables back here. And scouring around my plethora of parts, I found a battery holder, a little battery tray clips that I saved from something else. Come on, make a good connection. Yeah, I may have to go get a battery. If we do, it's okay. Let's just see if we can't jump the starter. Starter on these on this side. So let me move y'all where y'all can still kind of see. And we're going to somewhere. I'll just have to get a battery for this thing, but we at least got her ready. So I'll go run and grab a battery real quick. Alright, we have our new battery in. From where we left off, we had a fuel system set up already, which was just the fuel tank because it was clean. There's no hour meter, so I cannot tell how many hours on this thing, but let's see. Choke. Well, that was hard. She fired right up. I promise, I spun the key to make sure I was making good connection before I started filming. So let's get this thing backed out of the shed. Now that we have, you know, this thing running basically. We get this thing backed out of the shed, and I think the belt was off the deck. Hook the belt back up and then make sure the deck system works, and then that'll be it for this one. This will be probably a really short video. Alright, cool. Alright, let's get this thing out of here. Alright, so we know it runs. Now let's test to see if it will drive. You can see my dad's old license plate from '99. So, pretty proud to have that one up there. I've seen that thing my whole life, so it's kind of cool to see. Alright, well, she does drive. As you can see, she is now out of the shed, and don't pay attention to this. That's a video in the making, so just forget you saw this. We're gonna move it out of frame. Alright. Yeah, I can see the belt hanging off from here. So I'm gonna get that back in place, and then we'll see if the deck works, and then I guess we'll be done. As long as it runs and drives, I'm gonna with how the seat is and it being as rough as it is, and I don't know anything else much about it, and the deck being as rough as it is, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money into this thing, especially if I spend a whole lot of money getting it, you know, where it's tip-top shape, and then sell it to someone. They can't use the deck, they can't use this, and they've got to do this, this, and this to it, and they want to turn it into a mud mower. I'd rather let them do that than, you know, try to put a whole bunch of money into it and them not really repay me for all that. So let's get that deck belt on and see if the pulley system works. So that's not the correct belt, but let me bring y'all in to kind of show y'all the shape this deck is in. You know, it's welded right there. It is missing a huge chunk right here, and it's bent in a few spots. We make our way to this side, and that has been welded on as a random rod or something, and that pulley is seized up solid. So I'm not even gonna worry with putting all that back together, because I'd have to get a new spindle, and that deck is just really not worth it. You know, sometimes, guys, you have to kind of play your cards right, and, you know, not spend a whole bunch of money into something, because I'd have to get a whole new deck for that to make it worth anything. And it's not worth it to put a new deck on it. So I'm gonna just drive it around, make sure she drives good, and we're gonna call that good. So let me get y'all set up, and I'll go tootle around in the yard some, and then we'll put her on the old marketplace. This is a really short Will It Run video. This thing was sitting. The guy I got it from said it had been sitting for, I don't know, it had been sitting in his yard for like a year and a half, 2 years. And he doesn't know how long it had been sitting before. So, yeah, that's cool. But we got it running. The deck is useless, but maybe someone can use it for parts, or maybe someone has a good deck and a trash lawnmower. But either way, yeah, I'll see if I can at least, you know, I'd at least like to get my money back for what I paid for it. And, you know, I do have a newer tire on it, so they all hold air again. So let me get y'all set up, and I'll see if I can't wiggle my way out of here, and we'll go tootle around the yard some. Let me see if I can figure that out. Oh, another thing I'd like to mention is the amount of bubbled up rust everywhere on this mower. So it is, I mean, otherwise the body's in good shape. The hood's in good shape. The engine doesn't look, you know, horrible. Obviously the hood has been bent, but I mean, for what it is, it's a pretty nice little mower. So let me see if I can't get y'all set up, and we'll go drive around the yard some. Well, this has been a rather short Will It Run video. I know it's kind of smoking. I noticed the valve covers had a lot of oil residue on them and a lot of oil buildup, and it's leaked down onto the exhaust. So don't worry about the smoking. It's not on fire, I promise. I know this has been kind of a short video. I really was expecting more out of this thing, but, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, you have them like this. So, but yeah. All we had to do was put a battery in it and put some fuel in it. Sometimes they're like that, you know. I mean, the deck's not really worth anything because it's trashed. But sometimes they're like that, where you have a mower, you know, think it's worse than it actually is, and you get, you know, surprised. So, but yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I'm gonna try to keep videos out as often as I can. Like I've said before, we're expecting another little one, so, you know, I'm trying to be there around the house some more, to be more supportive of my wife while she's not feeling good and having her up and down days. I thank y'all for everyone, for all the support, all the views, all the comments, everything. You know, y'all are the reason that I keep doing this. So, you know, it makes me feel good when y'all comment, you know, even constructive criticism, I'll take it. I will take all the constructive criticism. I'm not going to be like, I'm the best, I know everything. I don't. I'm not going to say I ever do. I won't, because I don't. But today is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July, Americans' independence. This year, America is 249 years old. So, some kids riding by on a golf cart. But yeah, you know, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another episode of 10 Shed Shenanigans.